Welcome to Blue Talks.
Thank you, everyone. What an honor it is to be here today with all of you. I've dreamed about this day for quite some time. Have you ever experienced the feeling of not fitting in, of not belonging? Please go ahead and raise your hand if you've been there. Now take a moment, and if you're comfortable, close your eyes and think about somewhere where you truly feel a sense of belonging and deep human connection. I'm going to take a wild guess that it's somewhere that you share an interest, values, a passion, maybe it's for a sport, a hobby, or a cause. I am beyond thrilled to be here with all of you, ready to delve into the profound power of human connection. Together, we will explore why it holds such significance, and I will leave you with some tips to be more inclusive in your daily life. Throughout my talk, I will open up about my personal journey, and I will share a few lessons I have learned along the way. Hello, my name is Shannan Roberts, and as you heard, I wear many hats, including mother, entrepreneur, nature lover, and marathon runner. As co-author of the Amazon bestseller, Self-Love Elevated, and with over 2 decades of experience in business and economic development, I've had the privilege of collaborating with purpose-driven organizations. In my current role as export advisor, I am honored to support Indigenous businesses in expanding into new markets across Canada and internationally. Additionally, I'm co-owner of Prep Academy Tutors of Interior BC, where our aim is to set the gold standard in tutoring and educational services. Through my life experiences, I've seen the transformative power of human connection. Each one of us holds the key to a more compassionate and united world. I challenge you to take the first step and reach out to someone different from you. Listen, learn, and grow together. My hope is that each one of you will walk away feeling inspired to embrace inclusivity and discover new avenues for connection and collaboration wherever you go. I am proud to share the vibrant experiences that have shaped who I am. I was born and raised in Canada, and I come from a large and loving family. I have always been surrounded by a rich mix of cultures and languages, from speaking English at home to learning French at school and living among many different Indigenous cultures. My upbringing has allowed me to appreciate the beauty of different languages and traditions. Growing up in Northern Canada, my connection to nature runs deep. I was mesmerized by the glow of the midnight sun and the captivating dance of the Northern Lights, the Aurora Borealis. I love spending time on forest trails and on the water. And did you know that the Northwest Territories embraces 11 official languages, 9 of which are Indigenous? From a young age, I have had an entrepreneurial spirit. At 17 years old, I started my first business. I was designing websites and providing translation services. Although the world of technology fascinated me, I could see that IT wasn't truly my passion. A fire burned within me to learn about different cultures and the wanderlust for travel. This led me to embark on a life-changing journey to Brazil as an exchange student for 1 year. While in Brazil, I fell in love with the people, with the land, the culture, and the language. I found myself hanging out in classrooms, at the community center, going to dances on the weekend, and at new friends' houses. I was hanging out with the Brazilian people to immerse myself in the culture and the language. It was my goal to learn Portuguese and make new friends. I remember very soon after arriving at an exchange student community event, I was hit with an unexpected question to talk about my Canadian culture. I must admit I was caught off guard and initially unsure how to respond. Thankfully, I was surrounded by many international students that were friends, and they were each sharing their own culture. I found my voice and loved listening to the diverse backgrounds. Many evenings, I would spend time with my host family, and they were very curious about my life in Canada and how it compared to Brazil. They would invite friends over and wanted me to share stories and answer questions about everything imaginable: my diet, my taste in music, fashion, society's rules around driving, around voting, around alcohol consumption, my beliefs in terms of my faith and religion, what school was like, as also how we like to celebrate all of our holidays and festivals. My year abroad flew by, and by the end I felt completely at home in Brazil, but of course I missed my family and friends in Canada. Upon returning home to Yellowknife, I experienced a radical transformation of my identity. For those of you who may not know where Yellowknife is, it's located just south of the Arctic Circle. It's very remote, and the seasons are just about as opposite as you could get from Brazil. Part of my experience as an exchange student was learning about the feeling of a mobile lifestyle, of growing up among worlds. My identity was connected to my home and host cultures. The way I see it, we can choose to belong nowhere, or we can choose to belong everywhere, and I choose the latter. Back home, I eagerly welcomed opportunities to learn about different traditions and perspectives, expanding my circle of connections and friendships. Pursuing further education, I chose business management. The program fueled my dreams of connecting with people from all corners of the world. The more I learned about cultural identity, the more interested I became in my roots, traditions, and values, while also acknowledging the influences of history and the ever-changing world around us. This inspired me to focus my master's in business administration studies on more than just personal exploration and the vital role in how we relate to one another and others. I researched the best practices in developing partnerships. My passion for learning new languages opened doors to amazing international trade assignments. I've been on 11 trade missions, helped negotiate and create numerous partnerships and long-term relationship agreements. Relationship building and partnership development with Indigenous communities and businesses, both in Canada and abroad, has been the main focus of my career and an honor. From the United States to Germany, Russia, the Netherlands to New Zealand, I've been fortunate to work alongside many diverse cultures to help foster partnerships based on mutual respect. Throughout my career, I have witnessed firsthand how respectful connection can transform non-existent or strained relationships into mutually beneficial partnerships. We have all seen how globalization is affecting our society and how empathy and understanding can help build bridges. With increased immigration and refugee programs in so many parts of the world, we have a tremendous opportunity to build even more connection and recognize how much we all have in common and how much we have to learn from one another. From issues like housing, education, healthcare, employment, parenting, yet we all come from different backgrounds and experiences. Today, as I stand before you, I carry the spirit of inclusivity, recognizing the importance of respectful connections in every type of organization and relationship. My goal is to encourage more leaders to celebrate inclusion and create connections that transcend borders and cultures to enrich all of our lives. I believe this is the path forward to a more peaceful and prosperous world. Now let's talk about self-identity for a moment, a fundamental aspect of being human. We are all born into a culture, and we are all influenced by society. Both nature and nurture play a role in shaping our identity, and numerous studies have explored the interplay between genetics and environmental factors, shedding light on how these influences impact our interactions with our families, our social networks, and our communities. Reflecting on my own youth, I recall a time when I didn't fully understand the concepts of identity and culture. As I've grown, I've come to understand that when we embrace our own unique identity, we invite others to do the same. We create a safe space for open dialogue, understanding, and empathy, fostering a sense of belonging within our communities. Then our differences can become a source of celebration and growth rather than division. In my journey of self-discovery, I have found it helpful to understand my personal values and strengths. 2 psychometric tests that have been beneficial for me are the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, the MBTI, and the Clifton Strengths Assessment. The MBTI is based on Carl Jung's theory of psychological types, while the Clifton Strengths Assessment, also known as StrengthsFinder, is based on identifying an individual's unique strengths as well as the intensity of their talents. Both assessments have been widely used in various settings, from corporate environments to academic institutions to personal development programs. These assessments help me recognize the importance of facilitating understanding and appreciation of one another's strengths and differences. As I delved deeper into self-exploration, it became clear that I have a deep curiosity for meeting new people, for hearing their stories, for understanding their perspectives, learning their language, experiencing their culture, and showing respect and honoring for their land and traditions. I believe if more of us engaged in this kind of genuine connection, whether we are traveling abroad or within our own communities, we would truly see and hear each individual, regardless of language barriers, and foster a world that is more respectful and inclusive. Human connection is such a powerful force for change. What I've learned from my research and life experience is that a strong sense of self is crucial before we can fully engage with and honor others in their uniqueness. Understanding our own identity helps us approach relationships with humility, with empathy, and with respect. The key is that we see each person as the human they are, with all of the richness that they bring, instead of reducing them to numbers or statistics. When we see the human in one another, we create a culture where people come first, where every person feels valued and heard and appreciated. By fostering more empathy, collaboration, and collective growth, we contribute to a healthier, more inclusive environment where individuals can thrive. The question we must ask ourselves is whether we can sit with one another, listen attentively, seek understanding, and truly connect on a deeper level. Can we embrace the richness of each person's perspective and experience, respectfully engaging with different ways of seeing the world? Now I have 5 action items to share with each of you for you to create more human connection in your life. The first is to take a self-awareness assessment and to share your results. The second is to participate in multicultural events. You can attend festivals, concerts, food fairs, and listen to diverse voices in literature, films, and media. 3, volunteer with organizations that support underrepresented communities and groups. This will give you the opportunity to learn about different cultures while making a positive impact. 4, travel to different parts of the world. Exploring different countries provides an opportunity to immerse yourself in cultural experiences and connect with people from different backgrounds. And lastly, 5, when you are collaborating, ensure you have clearly defined values and goals. I get really excited when I think about collaboration and partnership and meeting new people, so there's far too many best practices to list them all. But try to identify some early wins, keep open lines of communication, and celebrate those wins together. In closing, human to human, I will add that a smile is another universal way to connect. I was reminded of this since I'm on a backpacking adventure with my 16-year-old daughter through Europe. And often a simple smile from a stranger is the first way to make a new connection. Remember, there is power in getting into the rooms, in coming together with like-minded leaders to create impact in our world. My personal goal is to encourage self-awareness, to help people develop skills in empathetic communication, collaborative problem solving, and effective partnerships. Together, let's break barriers of language and culture and truly see each other. I invite you to connect with me on Instagram at The Joy of Human Connection, or by email. I would love to hear from you. Thank you for being here and for joining me in creating a more inclusive world, one connection at a time. Goodbye for now.